Hold up, hold up. It looks like Canelo Alvarez is now allowed to keep both WBA belts at 160 and 168. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I just did a video about this, and it was believed that Canelo was going to vacate his 168-pound super middleweight WBA belt. It's the regular version of the belt. The WBA is weird, and they have 1,000 belts. They have WBA like super champions and WBA regular champions, interim champions, and pie eating contest champions, all types of shit. So it was believed that Canelo, since he's dropped back down to 160, has a great fight on DAZN with Daniel Jacobs. It was believed that he was going to vacate the belt, and I reported as such. Now new information is coming out that the WBA passed a new ruling that allows Canelo to keep not only the belt that he got from beating Gennady Golovkin, hey no guys, hey Max, hey no, right, at 160, but also keep this regular belt that he obtained when he beat the shit out of Rocky Fielding. You know, my thoughts, this is crazy. First of all, there's too many belts in boxing to begin with. The WBA seems to always have these rules that, you know, don't seem to make sense, like these decisions. Me, I don't care if Canelo has 2 belts or 40 belts. He's an A-side, he's a good fighter, he's an entertaining fighter. I'll watch him. You know, Canelo is now entered the realm of the Mayweathers and Pacquiao, and I'm not comparing him to what they've done, but I'm comparing him into the echelon of stardom where a belt really doesn't define him. A belt is not going to make people watch him more. Like, he doesn't have to walk around at every photo shoot with his belts. People know who he is in boxing and sports, and he has the most lucrative sports contract in history. A belt doesn't define him. People know that he's a dope fighter, and they know that he's, you know, a celebrity and stuff, right? So I don't care. I'm not saying this to hate on Canelo. More power to you. But it's just the WBA's rules are crazy. Now they passed a ruling, so he gets to keep really what we all know to be in the world of boxing, basically a fake version of a title. Now, it's all politics, you know, technicalities. Now Canelo could say, I'm a champion in a 3rd weight class, you know, the only Mexican. That's cool. He set history, and it's not really representing the super middleweight division in the right way, in the respect of now he's holding on to this piece of luggage, this piece of hardware, and there's another guy in the division who could say, hey, I'm the WBA champion. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't really make sense to have so many champions. Caleb Plant, you know, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, right? David Benavidez was champ before he had that run-in with cocaine. It's so many belts available. It makes it hard for newbie fans too to know who's who. Just look, a couple years back, Gennady Golovkin was the WBA champion, and he was a super champion. Daniel Jacobs was the regular champion. So when they were fighting, people are like, what, you know, who wins? What is this? They don't understand. And I guess it's like consolidating the belts. So, you know, I get it. You know, everybody, it's a business for me too. I'm trying to make money in this game too. So, you know, I guess the sanctioning fees and stuff, they want a piece, but just weird decisions from behalf of the WBA. And I'm not saying this with any hate or malice, because it really has nothing to do with just Canelo particularly. I'm talking about the WBA's decisions. Like, Alberto Machado, Freddie Roach fighter, good fighter, real good fighter at 130, powerful guy, pretty tall for the division. He was the WBA super champion, we all thought, right? He's not as big as Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis fights Jesus Cuellar, who moved up in weight and really, wasn't like a champion at 130. And they made it for the WBA. It was supposed to be, I thought, regular belt. Tank makes short work of Jesus Cuellar. He's too much for him. I was at the fight. That's my guy. Shout out to Tank. And then now all of a sudden, Machado is not the super champion, and Tank is. It's like, how did this blunder happen? How is a guy walking around thinking he's the super champion, and then another guy fights another guy who's not even, really listed at that weight class, and all of a sudden that victory trumps, who the standing champion. These decisions don't make sense. And also, here's another quick example of what I'm talking about with the WBA and their decision-making process. This Canelo situation is one. Allowing Canelo to hold on to this belt and say, hey, I'm the guy, I'm the champion, that's one thing in itself, because like I said, in terms of transparency and making it clear for the fans, it becomes confusing when you could say there's multiple guys in each division and they all have a piece of this belt and you don't really know who's who. So Caleb Smith is the WBA super champion and Canelo is the WBA world champion. Like, what the fuck does that even mean, bro? Like, what is the world champion versus? Sounds like Caleb Smith and Canelo need to fight to consolidate, like what Triple G and Jacobs did. But aside from that, here's another quick example. It looked like after weeks and months of back and forth, there was pretty public negotiations with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Everybody wanted to see the fight. Everybody anticipating the fight. And Shelly Finkel, one of his managers, said, we got two little issues, two little notes we sent back to Eddie Hearns and rematch room, and we're down to fight in the UK. Everything should be, once they clarify this, everything should be good to go. All of a sudden, the WBA calls out this order that, we're not waiting anymore. Joshua got to fight his mandatory Alexander Povetkin, and that's his next fight. And if you don't announce it in 24 hours, then, we're going to strip him. They didn't actually say it, but we know what happens if you don't fight your mandatory, and follow the rule set presented by the sanctioning body. So out of nowhere, the Wilder-Joshua fight just completely fizzled out and fell apart because the dumbass decision of the WBA to create that havoc right then and there when it looked like we were getting close. So to me, I'm not going to go too far in depth because I have no way of proving it, but that sounds underhanded. That sounds like a call was made or something to make that, because I can't understand why a bigger fight like Joshua Wilder would not be everybody's priority, and a unification for Undisputed. Why the WBA thought, hey, this is the best time right here and now to step in and cock block this whole fight from happening, and create this turmoil that doesn't even need to exist for a lesser fight with Joshua versus Povetkin. And Joshua beat Klitschko. Klitschko beat Povetkin when he was undefeated. So I don't believe in triangle theories, but at the end of the day, nobody wanted to really see Joshua Povetkin, and the outcome was what most of us expected: Joshua to win. He was a far more active guy. He's a taller, bigger guy, etc. Anyway, just my thoughts. So I don't know what Canelo's gonna do, but it's kind of a disrespect. And like I said, now you guys see some of the politics in boxing. You got Caleb Smith, and he's worked his whole life to get a world title. He was in the World Boxing Super Series, WBSS, beat George Groves by stoppage. He's thinking, he's like, yeah, I did it. I'm the champion. But now there's a more popular guy in Canelo Alvarez, who he hasn't fought, who he was rumored to possibly face. And you got another guy in your division who can say, no, I'm the champion. You know, I'm the bigger fighter. I got the better resume. So it's almost steals your shine a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I was in the Olympics and I beat Michael Phelps. I beat everybody. And they give me a gold medal, and then they give Michael Phelps a gold medal, you know? But it's like gold medal B, and I got gold medal A. You know, what sense does that make? You know, if I beat Michael Phelps, then he deserves a silver medal, period. You know? And the guy that came in third place deserves the bronze, period. We shouldn't both have gold medals. What's the point of me gold medaling if we both get a version of the gold medal, you know? So just a quick analogy for you guys. Anyway, no hate towards Canelo. He's not the one, you know, I think making this decision, but the WBA is going to allow him to keep the belt. I don't know what he's going to decide. Maybe he does end up, you know, getting rid of it anyway, but it's just kind of a disrespect to the Caleb Smith at super middleweight and the other guys in the division, because even other guys, they want to fight for title. Like Canelo, you know, it's like Canelo's already loaded and got this lucrative contract. He doesn't even need the belt. Do you get what I'm saying? He already making money. But some of these other fighters, they need that. That would be great to when you know, Michael Buffer or whoever announces them, to add that, you know, and WBA champion of the world. They need like a trinket. They need a token. They need something to help build their buzz, something to put in their Instagram bio. Canelo don't. So, you know, another way to shit on the small guys as opposed to somebody who doesn't even really need that type of recognition. Canelo already has fanfare with or without a belt, you know. So just so many ways you could break this down. My thoughts. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Leave me a detailed comment. You know, Canelo versus Jacobs, a great fight at 160, but I guess he's the super middleweight champion still. We'll see what he decides. Make sure you smash the like button. You know, stay tuned for some more Canelo videos and the latest and greatest. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.